This is the Green Bay Packers' new head coach, Phil Bengtson. Today he would attempt to succeed where even his predecessor, Vince Lombardi, had failed. For Minnesota coach Bud Grant and his sophomore protege, Joe Kapp, the day would bring an even greater challenge to continue a magical dominance over a dynasty that has seldom seen defeat. In the end, it would be the underdog Vikings that would triumph, and they did so by utilizing the very weapons their opponents usually employ for themselves. The twin tactics of rugged ball control and an opportunistic, unrelenting defense. These were the Packer trademarks, but for today at least, the roles would be reversed as the Minnesota Vikings meet the Green Bay Packers in the NFL Game of the Week. The first play of the game proved to be a portentous one for the Packers when one of 8 penalties was assessed against them. Clint Jones, who has replaced the injured Dave Osborne, picked up 4 yards on the first play from scrimmage. On the first of several successful possession plays, quarterback Kapp would make work. He hit another Viking sophomore, number 84, left end Gene Washington, for the game's initial first down. Number 30, 230-pound fullback Bill Brown found room for a reception on the left side of the Packers secondary for the Vikings' second successful first down. Keeping his team's momentum going, Kapp goes back to split end Washington, deep in Green Bay territory, for a 23-yard pickup and yet another first down. A look at this play from our super slow-motion camera shows the excellent protection Kapp received from his line most of the day. Slicing through the vaunted Packer defense, fullback Brown hit to the 8-yard line. After having the ball controlled against them for 7 minutes and an even dozen plays in the first quarter, the Packer defense finally came up with the kind of play that has come to be expected of them. This pass was tipped by number 40, Tom Brown, into the hands of number 89, Dave Robinson. A second look at the play from a different angle reveals Robinson was smashed to the ground and fumbled the ball. But number 21, Bob Jeter, fell on the loose ball for a touchback. The Packers began on offense as if they would take advantage of the break in the time-honored Green Bay tradition. Jim Grabowski, number 33, took successive shots at the right side of the Minnesota line with impressive results. This Star to Anderson pass would have put the ball in Viking territory, but the pass was nullified by an offensive interference penalty. On the next play, Starr's pass was picked off by number 22, Paul Krause, playing his second game as a Viking. On this series, as on the last, a damaging penalty by the Packers would give Minnesota impetus and a first down when they needed it most. Quarterback Cap personally brought the ball down to the Green Bay 1-yard line with passes to number 86, tight end Tom Hall, on a slant in over the middle. A flare to speedster Jim Lindsay. And this important 3rd and 4 scramble for the first down. Cap relinquished his role as a runner on the next play and let Bill Brown take it over from the 1. The full power of Brown's effort can be seen from the ground camera as he moved several green jerseys to take it in. The quarter ended with Minnesota ahead, 7-0. The keynote of the second quarter was the sometimes maligned but very determined Minnesota defense, led by linebackers Roy Winston, Lonnie Warwick, and John Kirby. They constantly forced Starr to run out of the pocket and hurry his throws. And when he tried to rely on his setbacks, they were met by the likes of number 88, 260-pound defensive end, Alan Page. After Carl Eller deflected a pass, Starr managed to hit number 44, Donnie Anderson, but linebacker Winston was right with him to keep him short of the first down. The Packers were forced to punt, something they were forced into doing 3 times in the first half. Cap wasted no time in coming right at the Green Bay defense. Jim Lindsay made the sweep work with a good display of second effort. Then Bill Brown slanted off tackle for a pickup of several yards. On 1st and 10, quarterback Cap went for the bomb. Gene Washington used his high hurdling ability to outleap Willie Wood. A play good for 35 yards and another first down. The momentum clearly was still with Minnesota, much to the displeasure of Coach Benston. Ignoring the reputation of the Green Bay secondary, the former Canadian League quarterback came right down the middle to tight end Billy Martin, who made a nice grab and then showed his strength by refusing to go down. Continuing to keep Green Bay off balance, Cap gave to his meal ticket Brown, who powerhoused his way 10 yards for a touchdown. Once again, the ground camera picks out an example of Brown's strength as number 24, Willie Wood of the Packers, gets the full impact of 230 pounds at full speed. As if a 14-point deficit wasn't enough, Green Bay's first play after the score resulted in a costly penalty. This call of interference put the Pack on their own 11. When quarterback Starr dropped back to pass, he was swarmed under by Alan Page and number 70, Jim Marshall, for a safety. The unusual sight of Bart Starr sitting in the end zone deserves another look. Here it can be seen, number 88, Page streaked in unmolested, forcing Starr to the outside, where Marshall managed to fight off his block and make the damaging tackle. The score, Minnesota 16, Green Bay nothing. With less than a minute left in the half, Starr vainly tried to get Green Bay on the boards. Just how badly the Packers wanted to score can be demonstrated by this play, in which veteran Carroll Dale, after an 11-yard pass reception, appears to have fumbled. The same play, seen from a different angle, shows that Dale attempted to lateral the ball back to Donnie Anderson. Starr recovered the fumble, but time ran out on Green Bay, with Minnesota ahead by a well-earned 16-0 score, evidenced by the fact that Green Bay had been held to just 22 yards passing for the half. Down by 16 points into the third quarter, the Packers were forced to do something they have been unaccustomed to doing: play catch-up football. Ironically, it was under these circumstances that Bart Starr mounted and completed Green Bay's first sustained drive. The drive was temporarily thwarted by a pass which bounced off the outstretched arms of tight end Mar Fleming, who had come back towards Starr for the attempted catch. Until now, the Vikings had effectively cut off Starr's aerial attack with an aggressive pass rush. But given enough time, Starr began to find his two wide receivers, Carroll Dale and Boyd Dowler, penetrating deep into Minnesota territory. With the help of a blast block by number 68, Gail Gillingham, Travis Williams, number 23, recorded the Packers' longest run from scrimmage thus far on a 9-yard burst around end. An aggressive pass rush and good coverage by the secondary was in part responsible for the Packers' first score of the day, as Starr was forced to scramble out of the pocket and into the end zone. A missed extra point made it Vikings 16, Packers 6. The next Vikings series was to produce the key play and turning point of the game. On 3 successive downs, the Packers defense played up to their reputation as the finest in pro football, giving little ground to Bill Brown's thrusts. It was 4th and inches on the Vikings' own 26, and Coach Grant chose to go for the first down. On a quarterback keeper, Joe Kapp barely made it. A graphic example that victory and defeat are truly measured by inches. The successful gamble seemed to provide an extra impetus to the already charged up Vikings. Bill Brown moved the ball 23 yards further into Packer territory. On a replay of Brown's 23-yard run through the Packers' right side, it can be seen that this powerful fullback possesses the physical and psychological assets necessary to be a great runner, exceptional balance, and exceptional determination. Another costly personal foul by Green Bay added 15 more yards, and Minnesota was now inside the Packer 10. The Vikings' ball control offense had eaten up most of the third quarter, and sophomore sensation Clint Jones, number 26, swept left end past a bewildered number 21, Bob Jeter, for the Vikings' important insurance touchdown. The score now stood at 23-6. All day long, it had been a series of key plays and key breaks that had stymied Green Bay's game plan. Number 46, Ursel McBee, provided yet another on this interception. Minnesota was playing near flawless football. A confident Joe Kapp had been bolstered by an offensive line that protected him well all day. Here, for one of only 2 times in the entire game, Green Bay got to Kapp and forced a field goal by veteran place kicker Fred Cox. From a spectator's vantage point, the kick was true. The Pack was now on the low end of a 26-6 score. Number 26, Herb Adderley, shot some life into the world champions on the final play of the quarter with this 37-yard kickoff return. But for Green Bay, a touchdown deficit would prove too much to overcome in the final period. Coach Bengtson had spent a worried and frustrated afternoon in Milwaukee, but even though late, he saw Bart Starr start to move his team again. Finally receiving enough time to set up and throw, Starr connected on several swing passes to his setbacks, Donnie Anderson and Travis Williams, with great individual efforts by each. As they had done throughout the game, however, the Viking defensive line and linebackers cut off the middle and the outside, stopping Williams on a 4th and 1 at the Viking 25. Later in the quarter, Starr's accurate passing brought Green Bay its second and last score of the day. Starr and his receivers had success against the Vikings secondary in the second half, but the 16-0 first half deficit proved to be the deciding factor. This 7-yard touchdown pass from Starr to Dale made it 26-13. On the replay, look for Dale in front of the camera as he faked a corner pattern, spun around, and beat his man, while Starr lofted the ball just over the waving arms of Alan Page and into the arms of Dale. With seconds left in the game, Starr tried to make the score respectable and nearly succeeded as Anderson almost broke through. But almost was the story of the game for Green Bay, and the Packer frustration was nowhere more evident than on the last play of the game. For the third time in as many years, the Packers had suffered a humiliating defeat to Minnesota, a team considered by many to be the doormat of the Central Division. But the Vikings can no longer be considered doormats by anyone, And when Phil Bankson meets Bud Grant and his Vikings on November 10th, it may well be for the Central Division title.